intention was to be here for everyone and asked to reschedule the meeting to an afternoon time as soon as possible.
Right.
And Martin also was totally fine with showing up, but found out that we weren't going to make quorum and isn't feeling so well. My suggestion is that patients also look and find another patient advocate to seat in Hunter's seat, because I believe he did get an official job as a lobbyist.
Oh, good.
He's not a lobbyist, he's a field coordinator, and he has no intentions of resigning, so I can't believe he's making that announcement without him here. He has absolutely no intentions of resigning.
Okay, well, he's employed by ASA, so that would actually disqualify him.
It does not disqualify him.
Yes, it
does. It's not her
does.
call to make, Shona. She's up here trying to, like, replace Hunter right now.
He's actually working for ASA, so the patient advocacy seat is for a patient advocate. We've discussed it with...
And we're not having enough people. Sarah, do you want to meet me out front? I'm going to leave, because right now there's a lot of misinformation and slanders happening here.
Well,
okay, so anyway, I think it's really important. I talked to Supervisor Jane Kim. Yes, it is true. If you're working for a national policy organization.
Bye-bye.
We are bringing it on last night with Supervisor Jane Kim, who is willing to put the seats up in September so that we can start to fill some of the seats. I'm really sorry. I think we all know what's going on and have dealt with this several times over.
Yeah, we should ask her, say who's not coming and why, then why don't you...
Is doing sort of a general public comment.
Hello, Dr. Collier, really appreciate the members of the task force that are here, and I appreciate you as well for being here. And you know, this is obviously a travesty. There's no support from the business community for the patients. That's what's happening. I don't know what we can do inside City Hall before the end of this year, before the sun shines. I don't see that this task force is coming together, and I wish that it was better. I'm hoping that out of this we can build something, and that we can continue to, you know, have our voice heard in City Hall and beyond. And I think, you know, people should know that there is, you know, progress happening elsewhere. We talked about the House of Representatives introduced H.R. 6134, the Truth in Trials Act. I don't know if that's going to pass this year, because with Republicans in charge in Washington as well. But I think if we try to focus on things that we can do and accomplish, I think we can accomplish a lot, if not immediately, you know, in the next year. Thank you.
People out there aren't aware that, you know, the war on drugs is, but people are, like some famous movie stars and political people. I was watching Young Turks last night, and it really brought the fact that, you know, the guy that runs the show was talking about the facts, how it's like a billion-dollar industry, the war on drugs, and we're not going to change anything up there. We can change it locally, though, by getting supportive people like this very committee. You know, this is how it's going to change. It's all on the local level. So I'm really supporting getting good people on this committee that are mature enough not to stomp out when they can't get their way, like our current supervisor, the woman in charge that just left. She's so immature. Just an observation. She seems to be a nice person, but she's just, we need maturity. There's too much response. This is about sick people who really need medicine, you know? This is like really, I'm doing all I can on my show. Denise and I are on twice a month, and I support it. I'm doing all I can, but we got to get the education out there that it is an industry. Prison, you know, instead of reading, they get the mind. Not only we're in Oz here, we can't really judge what's going on, but most people in Arizona, they get like a minor marijuana, and then they're in prison, and then they have a pile puts them to work. It's just atrocious. So I'm all for it, like getting good committee members here, and thank you, Shona.
Hi there, my name's Gilbert. Act like I'm talking to the mic.
Don't worry, you're on video.
It's sad that when we need these people the most, they don't show up. Our clubs are being raided and busted, and they flee like, what, cowards that they are. Anyhow, the thing is that the DEA told the cannabis movement years ago, clean up your act, get rid of your bad apples, and we won't bother you. Well, here you go, playing junior high school games with politics because they don't like somebody, this and that. So they weren't capable of weeding out the bad apples, and now everybody's getting raided and thrown in jail. So who do we have to blame? The cowards that didn't show up today. They're probably going to end up in jail anyway. But the thing is that we need to replace them and put people up there that have a little tiny fragment, microscopic piece of courage to show up for the meetings. So anyway, you need to vent these people. If they're so damn selfish that they're not going to show up to a meeting because they don't get their way, they need to be not allowed to sit on the board. Thank you.
I heard that. Thank you.
Good morning, remainder of the task force. I, as a patient, right access to love member, concerned advocate, as well as patient, it seems to me like times are getting really, really dark and really, really desperate with the clubs closing. You know, it seems like we're going to end up back underground, back where we came from, and I'm not trying to go back where I came from because the next trip I go is I stay there. So as a patient, I guess what I'm asking is, what can we do as, you know, on our, you know, from our position, you know, as low income and veterans, disabled, you know, mentally as well as physically, what can we do? If we can get some answers, we'd appreciate it.